Hara's pulse raced, her breath shallow as she stood frozen in the middle of the hallway. The door before her refused to budge, and the eerie growl still echoed in her mind. Her head spun, and every shadow seemed to move in unnatural patterns as though the house itself was alive, watching her. She glanced back toward the bedroom, expecting the twisted reflection of herself to emerge from the TV once again, but the hallway remained still. Too still. With a frantic breath, Kara grabbed a nearby chair and slammed it into the door, but it didn't budge. Panic surged through her, turning her movements erratic. She tried again, slamming the chair harder, but the door remained locked, solid, unyielding. The growl was closer now, a deep rumble that made the air itself tremble. She could feel it behind her, closing in like a predator on its prey. Turning, her heart skipped a beat. The figure was back, no longer crawling but standing now, its body twisted at unnatural angles, limbs too long, too bent. Its face, a cruel, warped reflection of Kara's own, stared back at her, smiling in a way that felt like a violation. It took one slow, deliberate step toward her. The air grew colder, thick with an oppressive force. "You thought you could escape," it whispered, its voice a jagged echo of Kara's own. "But you've only just begun to understand." Kara stumbled backward, eyes darting around the hallway for a way out and any way out, but all she saw was darkness creeping in from every corner. The floorboards creaked under her feet as she backed into the wall, her hands trembling as she clawed at the surface for support. Then she heard it. The static. The low hum started again, distant at first, then growing louder, filling the space around her. Her eyes snapped to the far end of the hall, where a door she didn't remember seeing before had appeared. Just a faint outline in the static haze that pulsed through the walls. The door shimmered like a mirage, flickering between existence and nothingness, but it was there. The figure moved closer, its grin widening. "It's too late," it cooed. "The static always finds you." Kara's breath quickened. She didn't think. She just ran. Her feet carried her faster than she thought possible. The door at the end of the hallway looming closer with each pounding step. The hum of static intensified, vibrating through her body, her bones, until it felt like her heart itself was syncing with the pulse. She reached the door, yanked it open, and stepped through without looking back. The world on the other side was wrong. The room was dark, the air thick with an acrid metallic scent. It was familiar, yet unsettling. And in the center of the room, the TV sat, still unplugged, but buzzing with static. The screen flickered once before going completely dark. A chill swept over Kara as she approached the TV. The reflection in the black screen seemed to grow, not of her, but of someone else. Someone new, standing behind her, their face indistinguishable in the shadow. The reflection smirked again. "Welcome home," it whispered. Suddenly, the room was flooded with harsh light as the TV buzzed to life. But this time, the reflection wasn't just a twisted copy of Kara. It was her, but not her. Someone from the past. Someone who had been lost. Her heart thudded in her chest as she recognized the face, a woman she hadn't seen in years, her estranged sister, Jenna. The static cleared enough to reveal Jenna's face, twisted in agony, a plea in her eyes. "You have to stop," Jenna's voice echoed from the screen, the words muffled by the static. The screen flickered, distorting further until Kara could no longer make out the face. Her sister's voice rang out again, clearer this time, but this time it was no longer a warning. It was a cry for help. "Kara, it's not just the TV." The room around her began to tremble, the walls groaning under the pressure. The static filled every inch of the space, louder now, swallowing everything. Kara spun in a circle, trying to make sense of the chaos, but it was impossible. The world was crumbling, and in the center of it all the TV still hummed. Before she could react, the screen flashed one final, horrifying image. A door behind her, just like the one that had appeared in the hallway. A single knock echoed through the room, louder this time, almost deafening. She turned toward it, but the door wasn't there. It had never been there, but it had. And in the reflection of the TV, the door was open, and she was standing on the other side. The TV went black, the whispers fading, and the room fell silent. Somewhere, far away, a new voice echoed through the darkness. "You can't run from the static." Kara's eyes snapped open, and she found herself sitting in her bed, the soft hum of static whispering in her ear. The clock read 3 a.m. The TV was on, but this time the static didn't stop. It only grew louder, and behind her, a door slowly creaked open. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more chilling tales. Hit the notification bell so you never miss a new upload. Got a story suggestion? Leave it in the comments below. See you in the next nightmare.